Welcome to the 10th weekly devlog for SCP Fragmented Minds. Please check the description and pinned comment to follow our Kickstarter and check out our Patreon to get some perks for supporting as a huge thank you. Hey there everyone. Over the last week we've been working to bring the newest and one of the most important zones to the game, as well as introducing a new weapon and cleaning up some of the underlying core subsystems. And the first subsystem is the inventory management system, and in this video you can see that we'll be using a system called a jigsaw inventory, which means the inventory management will be a core feature that you'll take with you throughout the game. You'll have to ensure that certain objects you pick up will fit in a slot within your inventory, otherwise you'll have to sacrifice something to pick up a larger object. Now you'll notice these objects can only fit in their designated hotbar slots on the bottom, so you'll have a quick way to organize the resources you use most without being able to assign invalid resources to a particular slot. This system is a great way to aid in player progression, since you'll be able to upgrade this throughout the game to accommodate more and more resources, so it's going to be a mechanic that players will more than likely wish to upgrade consistently as they play. It will also force players to prioritize taking only what they actually need with them throughout a level, since you'll be able to store resources in certain areas, namely the hub, which is in the last section of this video. It's also in this inventory tab that you'll see your health, suit power, and oxygen levels, as well as any status effects your player may be experiencing. So overall, it's a very critical place to look at every so often to check on your status, since neglecting to do so can have deadly consequences. The next subsystem is the Codex and Terminal system, and because environmental interaction within the game is something that's incredibly important, since your character and your AI will be missing a lot of the critical information about what happened to this facility and what creatures actually inhabit it, which you'll find out more as you play, the usage of terminals is going to be essential to get additional information about who and what you're dealing with into your codex. However, this codex will also facilitate playing various audio logs found across the facility, and will be able to log emails you find on terminals that contain pieces of information that may become useful to you as you venture into the darker and more decrepit parts of Site-113. The codex will also house the schematics that feed into the crafting stations around the map, and will allow you to craft specific items and ammunition as long as you have found the recipe for it, and have properly logged it into your codex. One of these codex recipes will be for the highly experimental Railgun, which we'll go ahead and talk about next. The crown jewel of Site-113's research into hypersonic weaponry, known as the HSER, the Railgun is a beast of a weapon with the ability to fire a specialized kinetic round that has been charged with negative gluon particles. It effectively gives the round the ability to cause tremendous damage to anything the round hits, with an especially large amount of damage being done to organic targets. However, this weapon comes with a fatal flaw. Ammunition is not only extremely limited, but is also extremely hard to craft, since a lot of materials go into crafting such an advanced projectile. It is therefore highly advised to only use this weapon when dealing with massive threats, since wasting the precious ammunition for this weapon can be the difference between life and death when facing the particularly dangerous enemies that will exist within the military zone and R&D. This weapon will accompany the special flamethrower and other interesting weapons, which will have their models shown off in future videos, along with their in-game usage. Now lastly, we have a walkthrough of the newest zone to be added to the game, which is the hub. It is in this zone where you'll be maintaining most of your resources, and will also be able to traverse to nearly every single section of the facility through this location, since all the facility tram routes connect through this area. The hub is slated to be a large and densely packed environment that will allow for customization of some of the aspects of it to suit your taste as a player. This will also become an area that will be in multiplayer, since it's planned to allow those hosting the lobby to introduce other players into their hub to see what they have customized and show off their achievements. Those who donate as well will have the opportunity for a lot more customization that will make their hub stand out, so they can show their support of the project. The players can obtain a higher level of hub customization through donating on either Patreon or Kickstarter when it launches, with the links to both being in the description below. Now, this image is the original concept image for the hub, and you can see the design and details have been coming together in this blockout version. And the finalized version of this environment will closely mirror that of this concept, so you can expect this zone to be rich with detail and will feature a lot of interesting parts to it that will allow for interaction and exploration. However, getting too comfortable in this zone can be dangerous since there are many events in the facility that can take this otherwise safe area and turn it into a death trap. So always watch your back and keep an eye on events that are happening around you as you progress throughout the facility. Next week, however, we'll be talking about SCP-610 and how that will play into the game, as well as introducing some of the new drones that will exist around Site-113. We'll also be showcasing the holotable that will exist within the hub and other parts of the facility, and will play a big part in how you traverse the zones and gain information about the entire facility. Now please go ahead and make sure to subscribe and check out the Kickstarter and Patreon, and thank you all for watching.